It looks like the dramatic peak on Bitcoin has just changed. This is Brian Lewis with MMT Investing, taking a look at Bitcoin today. Here's the here's the 2018, the old 2018 peak. Let me stretch this out so it looks less boring. It looked all flat, like nothing's going on. Things are going on. And also the momentum would be cool. I don't usually do that on Bitcoin. But we had this kind of long, boring area last year where it was just chopping around, and it finally popped out, back tested it, and took off here. And then now we have this peak, and I've heard a lot of people saying it's going to pull back, down to this moving average, or pull back even farther than that, possibly. And that's not what the chart is saying right now. This, to me, looks like we just got a pretty typical bull pennant and a bullish breakout right here. And so the spot generally on a bullish breakout off of a pennant, you're going to get a breakout move, and then you're going to get a back test move, and then you get the takeoff. So that is the general thing to look for now. And let me go in on like a hourly chart just so you can see what it looks like now. So yeah, pretty typical kind of bullish pennant that pulls back slightly, and you break out of the channel, out of the triangle, and then yeah, same thing. So yeah, you're looking for it to pull back, and this is where you buy on top of the channel, and then if you get support there. So I guess well, there's a couple different things. I guess I want to talk about just like buying, the coin. You just want to get it at the right here at the lowest price you can. If it pulls back and gets support, you want to buy it right at support, obviously. But and this is not financial advice, but I wanted to look at call options on this because I think this could go I don't know, to 60 or something like that. So yeah, this run up that came here came from a little bit below 20 to the peaks a little bit above 40, but this move was about 20 to 40. So I mean, just pretty typical move on the other side is could go, another 20 from here, so 35, whatever. Yeah, 55 or 60, something like that, is a reasonable target for a bullish breakout. And so if you're just buying Bitcoins, you don't really need that. Don't really need to do that much math on a target or something like that. But let me go to the GrayScale Bitcoin Trust. So for call options, obviously Bitcoin you can buy 24/7, day or night. But for call options, this is the GrayScale Bitcoin Trust. This is the biggest trust that tracks Bitcoin. And for a call option, you have to pick, a time limit that you think it's going to go. And let me just see what kind of call option I would be thinking about buying here. I mean, this is it took like 4 months ish to get here, and it went up like 20. So like kind of the move that you'd be betting on is getting up to say like 60 or something in another 4 months. So just say you wanted to do that. Say you wanted to go up to 60 in about 4 months is the move that you're looking for here, hypothetically, or like that is probably what I'm thinking. Which would mean for a call option, you want the expiration date to be at least double that distance. So like 8 months out or something like that, just so you don't run out of time. And you do want the move to go vertical like right now. The more time you waste, you just lose money and lose money the more it goes sideways until you get to the end of the time, and then it's worthless. And then for call options, like you can buy a call option right here at the price that it's starting at, and then that would be the price you'd have to finish above, which is a safe move, but you have to pay a lot for the premium on the option. It's like buying an insurance policy, and it's a really expensive premium to say like anything above here pays out. Like you're going to pay a high insurance premium, but you could go up out of the money and try to say like if it goes above this number by this date, it's like anything in this whole zone would pay. Then that's a much less expensive insurance policy, and it's got to get up. It's more risky because the thing has to actually get up above this area. But that's like an out of the money call option. That's kind of typically what I look at. Otherwise, you can just buy the thing, and it's not crazy. But if you're going to do an option kind of thing, that's kind of the way that I look at it. Like this move, Bitcoin has the potential to go to whatever. So, I mean, like this is the immediate move maybe that you're looking at, and then maybe you want to think about over the next 2 years, like you think Bitcoin will be at 100 or something. So, like this move here, you can go out of the money on the GrayScale to around 50 or something, and then instead of getting a contract that just ends in like 8 months, maybe you want to get a contract that ends in like 2 years, because you think Bitcoin's going to go like way to like 100 by then or something. So that's just kind of the way to think about how to set up the option trade, like what kind of trade you're looking for, what kind of contract you want. I think I'll be taking a look at that today. And then the actual buying of the option is pretty interesting because the momentum, like the short-term immediate like direction of the candlestick that's happening right now, affects the option price a lot. Like we got this little breakout move here. So like if you went to go try to buy a call option right in the middle of this huge green candle, like the premiums on buying that option contract would be really high. And since we're looking for kind of like a pullback and a bounce off support here, like after you bounce off support, you're going to be on a big green candle here. And that's sort of the takeoff. There's not really another spot you can get a good price. So like if this thing starts pulling back down here, like on the way down is where the option is going to be the best price. Like you may get the best price on an option contract here before it even gets down to the support. If it hits support and stops going down, the option contract prices are going to go up. And then if it bounces off support and it's green candle upward momentum, then option prices are going to go way up. So that's kind of how to look at the option contract prices, and that's just a general idea. You have to go in and see what the prices are and see if it's worth paying for a contract. I would imagine options. I haven't tried to buy an option on Bitcoin, but I would imagine an option on Bitcoin is going to be an expensive one. So it may not be worth it, but that's the trade setup for an option contract. And then, yeah, I mean, if anyone's looking for an entry into Bitcoin and thinks they missed it or something like that, I mean, a pullback to support here is it. Like that's going to be the last good entry, I think, before things go nutty. That's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. And in other news, we have GameStop over here. I'll pop in and check out the short squeeze. This is the big news across all the markets right now is the game stunks, short squeeze. And so everyone was saying like it crashed and blah, blah, blah. Everything's over. Nobody has sold out of this short squeeze. It's still on. They climbed all night and it looks like it's going to open in the 300s or something like that. But yeah, if this thing does actually squeeze today or next week, It could bankrupt some hedge funds. It could cause craziness in the market. There's all kinds of insider activity like getting exposed, and who knows? Who knows? This thing could really affect the market like crazy. And then I just wanted to check in on the S&P. Yeah, the S&P is doing sort of the opposite sort of setup that the Bitcoin is doing. The S&P broke down out of its channel, and now it's back testing the bottom of the channel. So this is a bearish setup on the general market right now, with and super high volatility. Also, volatility has spiked. So, okay, let me zoom out a little bit on this. Yes, I mean we're up. This is 2000. This is 2018 back here. So 2018 is the Volmageddon drop where volatility went nuts, and we've been in this huge like swinging volatility range, and we've broken out of the top of the volatility range, and now this this bull run looks like it's going to pull back, which doesn't necessarily have to be too dramatic. It's possible it's a longer term peak. The shortest target is just bouncing off the top of the volatility range. If it holds above here, that would be like a bubble parabolic bullish thing where who knows, it could go straight up. Otherwise, it's probably going to break down into this kind of support area again, like I don't know, 34 or 30s, low 30s. Potentially, it can get down into here, and then it can continue. But if we get like some kind of black swan event from the GameStop thing, where hedge funds are going out of business and the markets are getting shut down, or like huge funds have to sell like all their long positions to cover the shorts and the short squeeze. Like you could have a crazy market event where it crashes kind of hard. Yeah, this is the long-term kind of volatility range that's been setting up here for like 2 or 3 years, and so we're out of the top of it. But yeah, those are the other things. Like this yellow line is the super long-term. It's like the 12-year bull market support line, and so that would be huge resistance. And then below that, just this volatility range. Like if something really crazy happened and they're like really shutting markets down or something absolutely crazy happens, those are kind of the really deep targets. So right now, the bullish momentum has stopped. We're kind of in bubble territory. It's set up for like a downward movement technically, and a downward movement doesn't have very many targets. I mean, this is these are crazy targets. I mean, like 36, 33, 27, 20. So, yeah, these are definitely way longer term kind of bearish targets if things went nutty. And then on the top side, you don't even need targets really. I mean, if it holds on top of the volatility range and goes into like a mania buying, it's just going to be freaking parabolic to who knows where, 40s, 50s, or something like that. This thing could just like take off. At which point there probably would be a big time sort of parabolic top where it comes down hard. But that's the S&P right now is crazy. And this today could be really interesting, and next week could be super interesting. So I just wanted to come back on, kind of check in, say what's up. This is not investment advice, and crazy things are happening. So I'm gonna change a bunch of my positions today. Things are changing up. Yeah, happy trading.